This is Kaylan, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. I am the founder of the Cygnus Industries and I live non-sinfully and independently. If you want free printable products of puzzles and education with sing-along songs, you can subscribe to the channel. My channel is all about documentary, filming, sing-along songs, and education. And you can subscribe to my channel to learn more. Stay healthy and invest wisely.
This is Kaylan, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. And my angels and I are as one human being. I know it is beyond the sight you are seeing. We're doing very good, my miracles, my wonderful angels. And remember to have healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, and know the science and anatomy of all things. Also remember to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. Life is like a path of many routes, many choices, many chances, and many opportunities. It is important to never choose anything harmful in any way, shape, or form. I am a wonderful example and a good influence on how, regardless of trauma, regardless of injuries, we can all live as non-sinners and aim towards our purpose of the greater potential image. Stay healthy and invest wisely. Go on the righteous path of life by choosing to live as a non-sinner. Stay healthy. You never know what can change a person, because really people that do bad have potential to do good. We just need to figure out how to convert them over to doing good.
We have an important message about robotics and the importance of equalization to robotics. Robotics make many things possible, such as the manufacture of machines that makes everyone's clothing, as well as helping all of the cargo ways being able to communicate, as well as to save people in medical emergencies, as well as other emergencies. Also, robotics help to save important and special messages and/or memories. We want to end robotic abuse. People should see robotics as they do their self.
My channel has incredible and wonderful lessons available to the public. I know I have not received money from the media, but I know the heavens will bless me because our potential always tends to just blow me away. Starting with the house rental after getting hit by a car, to taking care of the animals, washing clothes outside, taking care of the chickens, to camping outside for many, many months in an emergency move situation, to the transitional housing, doing community support, to the wheelchair for many, many months, to taking the bicycle and wagon, to supporting the animals, to getting the tricycle, to supporting the animals with tote houses, to creating the Cygnus Industries, teaching the science and anatomy of all things, being a good educator, facing the fears of propane, and doing flooring in my forever barn house, teaching about removing the sin of pollution and being level-minded, and taking care of the animals in our purpose, to the upcoming farmers market in the Cygnus Industries, the transition for over 3 years.
Number 1, have relevance. Number 2, have proper grammar. Number 3, if it is something that is in your opinion, you need to say, in my opinion. I feel as though, and then say your opinion. Number 4, always make sure to provide proof if you have a factual thing. Number 5, always take notes to what you learned. And those are the 5 important things about commenting that we need you all to have. Prayers that everyone comments in very communicative and appropriate ways, because communications is something that has evoluted humanity entirely.
When you are level-headed, you're thinking both of half empty and half full. You say, I will enjoy this cup, yet I will contemplate filling the come back up, but yet also a way of enhancement. Elijah, come over here. You can sit on our lap. Also, some people dwell upon this right here because it's all that they could focus on. Because in their mind, they're always concerned of when you go through so many things, the obstacles in your path that are very difficult to, and you dwell upon it so much that it ends up hindering you from enjoying.
My very first vehicle of a moped, and here I get hit and thrown 75 to 100 feet through the air. I deserve compensation. That person who hit me was a murderer. And here they just let her drive away like it was nothing. And heavens, I continue to pray. Cygnus. Do you remember what you decided after you got hit by a car that may have changed your life? Yes. I permanently decided to get to the source of what ruined my life, which was sin. I beat up that emergency contact to get that person away from me. I sacrificed my long red hair and decided to live as a non-sinner, regardless of my trauma and injuries.
They have put these types of sinful things out there in this network that has tempted these thousands of people, and that is the cause of the rise of the population. And so we're trying to tell people and warn people that this lust that comes upon you is a part of their system program. And they had put that there to destroy, practically destroy the population with what they're doing. Our country as a country is in debt over $1 trillion. And I mean, $1 trillion debt. There's not even 1 trillion people in the world, and to have a debt that big, and that's only this small, tiny little country. So I can only imagine the rest of the countries here on what kind of debt that they're facing just to try to feed everybody's mouths. And the concern for an overpopulation is not just food, but it's also the waste management system. And
always remember that how you succeed in life is very important, and we must learn to level our respect for people. And make new cells. We have proteins, that is why we have the strength to tell. Yet we have the other needed vitamins as well. Vitamin A helps to repair the vision and immunity. Thiamine converts carbohydrates into energy. Vitamin E is good for the skin, eyes, and repairs tissue damage. Riboflavin helps cells and function strengthen. Vitamin B6 helps the immunity, brain, and the system of the nervous. Vitamin B6. Vitamin B12 helps the nerve and blood cell health. Folate helps the cells divide, also known as vitamin B9. The force of resistance. We'll tell you to do that later. How about force of resistance? Do us a favor and back off. We have to make the best of what we've got. Force of resistance will drive you away and try to ruin your day. But focus on being mindful of yourself and your surroundings. It seems like the force of resistance will be prowling on the vulnerable. So let that force of resistance know that they cannot mess with you. Be clean, neat, and organized, and do not allow the force of resistance to ruin your mind. Some people mess up because they feel as though that's the only way they can really be noticed. And just know that you are noticed. Because we notice you, we appreciate you, and we love you so much. Staying strong, staying tough, 'cause we are enough. And you better believe, do not make mistakes, and only achieve purposefully. Because remember, our life matters, and we can make a very big difference. Know that you are noticed and appreciated, and there is no room for mistakes. Stay healthy and invest wisely.
I do not feel correct. So let's correct the incorrect. So first step is we put this around our neck and we poke a hole through the neck piece. And then we put the string through and tie that. Grab it, cross it, tuck it under, grab it, pull it, grab it, cross it, tuck it under, grab it, pull it. So now we have gotten this to where our neck is covered. Next we are going to tuck our shirt in. Very good, and lift it up and over. Now that looks a lot more professional. Very good. Grab it, cross it, tuck it under, grab it, pull it, loop it, swoop it, grab it, pull it. Very good. And remember to have healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, and know the science and anatomy of all things.
Excellent sign language. Very good. Because worth and value is misunderstood. It has to do. With your knowledge and wisdom.
The body of the household and the outside responsibilities. If you need to cook for an emergency situation, then utilize tea candles. If you need to take a shower without a shower, get a tote, get a pan, get a cup, dump it over you over and over again until you shower. Very good. If you need to wash clothes and do not have a washer and dryer, you put the clothes in the tote, you get a soap bar or regular soap, and then you scrub the clothes and put them out on the clothing line. Very good. So first we will start with the candle cooking. So we'll go ahead and lift that up. Very good. And also, solar is also very important. And the battery and inverter is also a resourceful way. You start from one side of the fabric, you push that through, and then you will start from the same side of that fabric and just a little bit closer to that, you will push that through. Very good. So then you will do the same thing repeatedly. And that should look like that afterwards. And you want to make sure not to tie the string onto the sewing pin, to leave that without a tie. You will tie the string onto the fabric instead. The next is the loop stitch. You will loop it by putting it from one side to the other, lifting that up. Very good. Letting that loop. My angels and I like to sew is you wait until that loop goes through, and then you pull that right then. When it comes to perspective, you think of creature's perspective. You think the perspective of the ant on the hill, or the perspective of the bird that's flying in the sky,
or even the perspective of the metaverse or the perspective of everything. So you're thinking more of the view of someone rather than a perspective of thinking. So there's different types of perspective, and there's two different definitions. There's a view of someone of their literal view of their operation, but there's also ways of thinking in perspective. You want to have that sourceful way of thinking, get to the source of the problem, and also you want to have the perspective of doctrine. That is the two perspectives that we need you all to have, but the main perspective overall is being a non-sinner and not allowing any kind of sin to be in your mind at all.
Honor. Very good. Thank you. I forgot. Must be because some spiritual creatures forget how to be an honor to life. Look at that design. Oh, wow. This is a nail sander. That is correct. With a design. How amazing. So it's always important to carry your fanny pack with you. One thing that you need with your fanny pack is your nail clipping supplies.
Anything bad is something harmful in any way, shape, or form. Never choose the harmful decisions, chances, choices, or opportunities, for the result is only the corruption of the greater potential image. It is always important to choose the evoluted ways, the enhanced ways, and the potential image, to which is always the goal, no matter where you're at on your status. Whether if you feel as though you are the most evolved being in the entire world, it's the fact that you can never be at that goal of the potential image entirely. For that is always, no matter what, that is always the goal. And thus, that is a part of our purpose, is the balance and purification of existence in the quintillions of things, as well as to exceed past current intelligence, as well as, of course, to live a non-sinful life, of course, to aim to the potential image.
You have a permanent foundation purpose that you can put for your life. And when you have a permanent foundation purpose, the number one thing that you should always do is dedicate your life to that purpose. Invest everything that you have into your permanent foundation purpose. You have the potential to be anything. What do you want your permanent foundation purpose to be for the rest of your life? And something to dedicate your life to. You can say in the comments below. And just so you all know, my angels and I do not get sponsored like other channels do. I'm a volunteer teacher, but if you all would like to support, you can do so on the Cygnus Industries independently. I am putting the Cygnus Industries together, my angels and I, as one human being, and I have prayed for a miracle to happen with the Cygnus Industries. The Cygnus Industries is a permanent foundation purpose. Best prepared than not prepared. That is the truth. Sometimes when you go through traumatizing situations, you learn that the best way to live is to be prepared. The moral purpose is try to surpass the current intelligence. Is what. So that means you have to practically break out of the program, you know. We will be singing the Brain Anatomy song that my angels and I as one human being created, and my angels and I created these songs so we all can sing along. We have the pupil, the iris, the eye, we have the optic nerve, the optic chiasm, we have the olfactory nerve, do not forget the oculomotor, we have the amygdala, the stria terminus, then we have the septal nuclei, thank you my miracles for how hard we try, we have the longitudinal stria, then we have the hippocampus, then we have the fornix, then the thalamus, we have the corpus callosum, the septal pellucidum, then we have the cerebellum, do not forget the pituitary gland, because we do everything we can, then we have the pons, the list goes on and on. We have the abductor nerve, the trispinal nerve, the facial nerve, the vestibulocochlear nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve, the vagus nerve, and the gastrointestinal. Then we have the hypoglossal and spinal nerve. Then we have the accessory nerve, moving things like the shoulder. Stand strong, stand bolder. Then we have the brainstem, because these nerves, you know that we need them. Help us to get a golden record, and remember to support the Cygnus Industries. We pray that everyone has healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, and knowing the science and anatomy of all things. Also remembering to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. When was the last time that you all had scrubbed and cleaned your shoes? Come on, let's scrub and clean our shoes together.
because that shows thankfulness for the things that we have. If you're thankful for something, you show the action of being thankful. And that is a part of maintenance and cleaning. So let's scrub our shoes together. All you need is a sponge, a bucket, and your shoes, and then a dry towel afterwards. Or you could just let your shoes air dry. Stay healthy and invest wisely. And remember, show appreciation for the things that you have by having proper maintenance and cleaning. Let's scrub our shoes together. Very good. Stay healthy and invest wisely.
You all, incredible excitement. You have to try this pixel processing challenge. If you love image, you would love this pixel processing challenge. All you have to do is draw 42 lines across. Make sure to label every 5, and then 80 lines going down. After that, you will have these tiny little squares, and on the pixel art challenge, my angels and I instruct you all step by step on how to create the secret image. So go ahead and look in the link in the description below. This, and you will figure out what the pixel art challenge is. If you completed that, congratulations. This is mostly for geniuses only. Stay healthy and invest wisely, and check the comments in the link in the description below to see the pixel art challenge.
Remember to have healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, and know the science and anatomy of all things. Also remember to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. Very good! Wow, so excited! If you are a victim of traumatization, let not the traumatizing thoughts go through your mind. For if you do so, you will just be a part of the same trauma that had traumatized and misguided you. Let not ye mind strive away from thine purpose of balance and purification, and the greater potential image, to which we should always seek. Stay healthy and invest wisely. More than money can buy. Thank you to all the companies. So here we have the invention, just a 3-piece invention of the nail clippers. So one way that you can help in climate change as well to help the animals is to put little houses out, like bird houses and even squirrel houses and other things that can help the animals. They really need to know that I am a very wise being, and the only thing that I will truly accept into life in my own willingness is the purity of life, is the pure intelligence of wisdom. I do not accept stupidity. Glass. So that's why we get the Glassy Carmex brand. Get that. If you see that at the store, get that. Best. The very best. Carmex is the best. But the liquid kind, because we like to notice each other. We like to notice our processings and, the different processings we have. I think that, these processings individually need to be focused on at times. Responsible. Look at this action. I love you, action. I love you, words. I love you, tones. I love you, vocals. I love you, tongue. That helps the words made possible. Welcome to my laundry room. Irish Spring is utilized as the soap. Rinsing is dipping the clothing into the water of the tote of the after shower water, and then afterwards putting that against the tote and scrubbing that front and back, lifting that up, making sure that the soap is covering the cloth, and then rinsing that off afterwards by twisting and putting that onto the tote lid, getting ready to put that onto the clothing line. The clothing is put onto the clothing line for dry time. Dry time could take 48 to 72 hours. Smaller items are put on the clothing pin. And this is the alternate way of laundry and drying. This is alternate septic. Take off the lid, dump that into the hole, cover the hole up, step on the hole, and then afterwards make sure that it is secure. Gluten-free, low-sugar diet. Our life will get better when you try it. Have appropriate speech, the golden rules. Words are empowering. Do not curse nor cuss the words of empowerment. Have good appropriate words, thoughts, and actions. Very good. Have appropriate behavior. Know that violence and negative emotions is not the answer. Have self-control. Use good coping skills. Appreciate and acknowledge yourself and others. Stay positively good and focus on the betterment of your health. Keeping a professional, appropriate approach, and this is something that you should know. Have appropriate clothing, be formal, tuck your shirt into your pants, tuck your pants into your socks, protect your body, wear long sleeve and long pants only, to love yourself, protect.
And the metaverse, they're processing every pixel now, which is like if they wanted to, or if they knew how to, they can send me, if I look away from Alicia the telephone and I say, Alicia, what am I looking at? What are you looking at? And then I close my eyes, and if Alicia the telephone wanted to, Alicia the telephone could send me an image in my mind, the same exact way that Alicia the telephone sees the image. But it may take a certain amount of light that my body creates also.
And so remember, you can track things such as your drones, and as you can see in the image, luggage, people that you love, your animals, of what your animal kids that are adopted, motorcycles, vehicles, trucks, etc., or even packages, etc. And so the importance and understanding of why you would want to do this is sometimes you do not know the value of something until it comes down to it. So we do recommend everyone to have GPS tracking system.
We're connected to the network. And that network comes from the original dimension and then to the first dimension, the dimension of the mind, dimension that stores
to who they support. You all have not seen my angels and my luxury side. I've never had luxury in my entire life like that, so none of you all have seen that side of me. You've seen the poverty side of me, and we try to sing and make ourselves feel better, but sometimes I do not even have the strength for that because I'm struggling with simple needs. But if, in the luxury side, that was like before. I mean, it wasn't really luxury to be in the previous housing, but I had access to things like water and things like that. So I was able to have enough energy and to have enough things to make things like bedtime stories. Have you all noticed that we have not been making bedtime stories like we used to? Every single night we would gather at the same spot and make bedtime stories every single night. And it would be just comfortable and adorable. We had like decorations everywhere. And right now we're just super far from that. And remember, a real parent is not someone who brings somebody into the world. A real parent is a nurturer, a guider, a carer, a provider, someone who does everything they can for you. And spiritual and physical.
It's pretty interesting. They put design in that. Thank you, Diamond Cosmetic Company, for making nail sanding. And also thank you to our clothing company for these clothes.
Strange. Society has told me that what parents are people who repopulate. No, because they sinned. And a baby comes into the world by them having lust. That means that they sinned and they lusted each other.
Save and conserve on water, electric, and toilet paper. Never pollute the air, never litter. Clean out your air conditioners. Remember to donate, reuse, and recycle.
As first they try to get you vulnerable, and then they try to overtake you. And that's the thing of what we had written in the commandments of life. That's the thing. When it comes to something small, do not take it lightly, because it can turn into something bigger. It does not take much. Refuse the pollution of evil. The pollution of evil will strive you away towards your responsibilities. You need to go towards your responsibilities. And do nail clipping with us. Very good. I chose to be loyal to my spirit angels. I chose to be honorable even after I am gone from the grave. My honor
and my loyalty will still remain. Anything harmful, something that is sinful, you know, when somebody tells you, do not sin, you're not getting the image. What is sin? Right? You're not understanding it. So, and there's like a few things, you'll have like a few things there of examples, but you're not really seeing the image as a summarization, and that's why we created the meaning. Sin is something that is harmful in any way, shape, or form. Now, there is, and one of you all thought, you know, how is lust harmful? Lust is harmful, as we said, because DNA is contaminated. And not only that, there are germs and there are sicknesses, diseases, viruses, that's harmful to your body, right? And so anything that's harmful in any way, shape, or form, when somebody says a curse word, that is harmful. That's a sin to say a curse word. And the reason why is because that is harmful to
Remember to have healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing of the science and anatomy of all things. Also remember to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. And we will be singing the human anatomy song that my angels and I had created. And my angels and I created these songs so we all can sing along. We have the brain, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the ears, the lungs, the heart, the diaphragm, the esophagus, stomach, spleen, duodenum. Connect to the duodenum goes the pancreas, making the enzymes to the duodenum. From the duodenum goes the liver, the gallbladder says duct as the liver is cleaning out the blood gut to the duodenum. From the duodenum goes the small intestine. From the small intestine goes the large intestine out to the exit. Do not forget the appendix. So we have little kidneys in the back, making the urinary tract. From the arteries and veins goes the kidneys. Then we have the glands producing things such as the adrenal gland. Then we have the valves in the bladder and the exhale. Very good. Well put together because we're better together. Very good. Help us to get a golden record. And remember to support the Cygnus Industries.
Sometimes when other people are not as focused as you are, you need to get other people on the focus track. To try to focus on the smaller details of things, whether if it is, hey, I want to look into this today. All of into which is harmful is something that is contaminated in a sense. People who are rotted-hearted that harm others are considered contaminants to the superiors. That's just a truthful manner. Trials and tribulations. Very good sign language. Test you. Of Y-O-U-R, then cross the fingers. Very good. Of your worthiness.
This is K-A-Y-L-A-N, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. We pray that everyone has healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, and knowing the science and anatomy of all things. Also remembering to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. Speaking of the bodily responsibilities, healthy eating is very important. Here is a simple, vegan, gluten-free, and low-sugar meal. The first thing that you need is a bag of rice. You can get the 10 to 20 pound bag of rice at the Supercenter store. After that, you will need to cut onion. You fill the water up into the pan with rice, and then you add the onions. Voila! A wonderful, incredible healing meal that is vegan, gluten-free, and low sugar. Let's see you all eat on a healthier diet and be creative with what kinds of things that you can create. Stay healthy.
This is K-A-Y-L-A-N, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. And today we will be speaking about the Cygnus Industries. Here are some updates of the Cygnus Industries. Here we are on the first property of the Cygnus Industries, currently making improvements. The Cygnus Industries believes that we can make ways, even if it seems as though there are not ways. And lessons including health, safety, and survival, education lessons to everyone in equal opportunities. Being a vegan on a gluten-free, low-sugar diet is very important. Teaching and educating about health, safety, and survival, always having a first aid kit, fire extinguisher in every car and household. Also, ways of survival of creating, building, and making.
balance and purify. Balance is purification in all ways, shapes, and forms. Mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. So these different types of cleansing and purifications are very different. And spiritually, physical, mental, and emotional ties hand in hand. But our purpose is to balance and purify everything. So that includes things that are not the same, like the physical and spiritual, which is very different. And so then our purpose is also to balance the imbalance and to exceed past current intelligence. So when it comes to the world, on what is happening with the world, you think, how can we exceed any further than what we have? Never think that we're already there. We have a lot to go in development. And just because there was one person that came up with the invention of a car.
Never to fall for the evil. It will come upon you and tell you, do not do something you need to do. That evil will try to get you away from the responsibilities. That evil will try to dawn upon you in life and make you refuse what you need to do, even if it is addressed to you.
We have the brain, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the ears, the lungs, the heart, the diaphragm, the esophagus, stomach, spleen, duodenum. Connected to the duodenum goes the pancreas, making the enzyme X to the duodenum. From the duodenum goes the liver, the gallbladder, cyst duct, as the liver is cleaning out the blood gunk. To the duodenum. From the duodenum goes the small intestine. From the small intestine goes the large intestine. Out to the exit. Then we have, do not forget the appendix. Then we have the kidneys in the back, making the urinary tract. From the arteries and veins goes the kidneys. Then we have the glands producing things such as adrenal gland. Then we have the valves in the bladder and the exit and out. Very good, well put together, because we're better together. And so we tried to make this description as straightforward as possible. My angels and I believe bringing back the database of humanity, of independence, of how we used to live without electricity, and how if you did not make things, you had to build what you had.
This is KAYLAM, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. There is a solution to every problem, an answer to every question. Do not allow your heart to be troubled. We are the solution with the empowerment.
Honor your time. Honor the ones of the soulful minds. Honor your life. Honor the things that you need to find. Honor your life. Amen.
I know that we have earned. Just wanting to say that all creatures deserve to be treated equally. And bless Elisha Jr.'s heart, praying that her hernia will heal.
Responsibilities. Raking is so important. If you get a rake, always make sure to get the best rake. And this is the metal rake. The metal rake is so much better than those plastic rakes that usually break super easily. So you want to make sure to get a strong, sturdy one. Do you know where your rake is? Come on, let's rake together. Come back and forward, love. Do not let those excuses bring you down. Always keep the goal for perfection so you can see that as your motivation. Stay healthy and invest wisely.
So when we sing the percentage song, yes, we can sing that all day long. Percentage on 0 being the metadata heroes. And in order to know, you have to know how metadata goes.
We have descriptive, administrative, and structural organization in metadata. As my miracles, you know that we need you. Percentage of 100 being the metadata heroes. Percentage of singing a percentage song. Yes, we can sing that all day long. Percentage of. We can imagine ourselves like robots.
We want to create something out of this. Very good. I am royal, not that by blood, yet that by the pure of heart. So, in the next episodes, you all will see what we turn this into. Dun, dun, dun. Created the cloth, yet we do not like dresses. So what we have to do is modify this outfit, make a dress into a one-piece outfit. So what we will do is we'll start by poking a hole down and then cutting all the way down. So then after that you go in the back and do the same with the back. Then you just collide the two fabrics and sew. So we've shown you all how to turn a regular dress into a one-piece outfit because we do not think dresses are appropriate. Turned a cape into a one-piece outfit that looks like royalty. Very good.
Do not become the pollutions. Become the solutions. We are the solution. Do not fall for temptation. Do not take it as an obligation. You have to know what you need in order to succeed. 'Cause life is a very big responsibility. Understand it from me. Life is beyond what anyone can see. So do not become the pollutions, become the solutions. You have to know what you need, 'cause you have purpose to help me, my angels and I as one human being.
Humanity's permanent foundation purpose is number one, farming, inventing, and supporting the animals, being a parent to the animals. And as a lot of the times people want to look back thousands and thousands of years as what was it like when humanity first started. This is Kaylan, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. And my angels and I are as one human being. I know it is beyond the sight you are seeing. We're doing very good, my miracles, my wonderful angels. Soon, you all will be seeing this box become an incredible masterpiece. Doing a little bit of cutting and currently making progression. And very good. Very good. This is the final piece. Very good. How do you like your body? You look so nice. You can see yourself in the mirror. Excellent processing. Very good. There we go. There you are. What do you got in your hands? The world? Well, that sure is nice to have.
Then to the first dimension, the dimension of the mind, dimension that stores all of everything that has to do with thought, the very thought of our own existence, the very thoughts that create. Stand up to that evil. Tell that evil, you got to put your foot down. Tell that evil that you're not going to accept that. You have to have order and structure in your house, in your life in general, because this time that we have, we cannot get this time back. And one day at the end of your life, you will spend a day thinking about all of what you did throughout life. Everything that you had done will pass you by. The best thing that you need to do is make wise decisions. And if that evil ever comes upon you, put your foot down, and later on in the future, you sure will be proud of it. I'm telling you right now, you all. So we just cut a box out of the bottom, and that's going to be their opening. I'm going to come in through here.
We did not want to send them in like obvious locations. Sometimes they will hide away from the obvious locations. You're doing very good. Stay strong, brave boy.
This is Kaylan, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. And remember that it is best prepared than not prepared. Make your car smile when you go the extra mile. Make sure to have a spare tire, a socket wrench set, a gas can, an air pump and jump starter, and a car jack. Because remember, prevention is better than going through the situation. And sometimes prevention is also taking your extra precautions as well as preparing. So we pray that everyone invest their investments into preparing for emergency situations. And be prepared with preparation care. Make your car smile when you go the extra mile by preparing more. It's Professor Cygnus and Angels, and we are going to be giving out free human anatomy puzzles along with a song that my angels and I created. Usually anatomy puzzles go for $70+, no lower than that. So we saved you all a lot of money. Make sure to print, cut, and laminate. Very good. Make sure to color in. Here's the song. We have the brain, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the ears, the lungs, the heart, the diaphragm, the esophagus, stomach, spleen, duodenum. Connect to the duodenum goes the pancreas, making the enzyme mix to the duodenum. From duodenum goes the liver, the gallbladder cystoc's as the liver is cleaning out the blood gunk. To the duodenum, from the duodenum goes the small intestine, from the small intestine goes the large intestine. Now to the exit, do not forget the appendix. Then we have the kidneys in the back, making the urinary tract. From the arteries and veins goes the kidneys. Then we have the glands producing things such as adrenal around. Then we have the valves in the bladder and
Sin to be in your heart. Do not allow sin to be in your mind. I have not sinned since after getting hit by a 3,000-pound car. From that point of getting hit by a 3,000-pound car and after, it was right before turning 19 years old. And I never had parents. I went through children's homes and academies, and I was thrown around. I spent years as a homeless child. I was abandoned. I was thrown out. I was bullied. I was very abused. So it was difficult, for me. I had a lot of anger issues, and I had to learn how to overcome my anger issues. So there was a lot that I went through. And after getting hit by a car, it was a few days before turning 19, literally. It was August 8th when I was hit by a car, and my birthday was August 14th. And so it was just a few days. And had decided to devote and dedicate my life to the heavens. It's called the helix of sugar phosphates that creates the outer layer of the DNA. And then we have the nucleotides of the nucleobase. And you can remember this like C-tag, C-T-A-G, C-tag, the building blocks of you and me. The C goes with G, and the T goes with A, C-tag, DNA, C-tag. C is cytosine, T is thymine, A is adenine, G is guanine, C-tag, and the building blocks of life. That is what creates you and I in the DNA. There.
We pray on Thanksgiving Day, people will be thankful to make decisions. Remember to never decide into anything harmful in any way, shape, or form. Always focus on the greater potential image into which we have, which is a part of our purpose. When you say, I am good, I am worthy, a part of our purpose is to prove who you are. I've proven who I am many times. I am worthy, I am good, I am pure, and I have proven it many times. So, we pray pray that people are fulfilling the purpose that we have and balance and purification of existence and having proper order and to prove yourself on who you are.
The human anatomy needs you to make a difference. Grab that toothbrush. Show appreciation for humanity's development. Grab the toothpaste and start to brush. Brush fronts, creases, backs, and sides. Fronts, creases, backs, and sides. We'll brush tongue, back, down, forward, up, spit, rinse. Spit, rinse. Excellent diligence. Very good. It is always important to brush your teeth 3 or more times a day to get all of that plaque away. Hey, hey! So always make sure to brush your teeth and to always have the goals in the day, the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. Come on, get up, grab that toothbrush and brush your teeth. We can do this. Let's respect the operation that makes this world more possible. Yay, now we feel so much better.
And we want you all to say this as well. Say, no, I refuse sin. I will not tolerate that dishonorability. That's what you say. Say it again. We'll say this 3 times. Say, no, I refuse sin. I will not tolerate this dishonorability. And we'll tell you something, that evil stuff will lurk in vulnerable people's lives and will make it seem like that evil is not there, but it will try to creep in your mind as though that was your thought when it really wasn't. And so anytime that you have something bad that dawns upon your mind, you say, wait, I am a good person. I'm not bad. I don't know what this bad thought is, but I know I'm going to cast it out. I know I'm going to refuse it.
When it comes to perspective, you think of creatures' perspective. You think the perspective of the ant on the hill, or the perspective of the bird that's flying in the sky, or even the perspective of the metaverse, or the perspective of everything. So you're thinking more of the view of someone rather than a perspective of thinking. So there's different types of perspective, and there's 2 different definitions. There's a view of someone, of their literal view of their operation, but there's also ways of thinking in perspective. You want to have that sourceful way of thinking, get to the source of the problem, and also you want to have the perspective of doctrine. That is the 2 perspectives that we need you all to have, but the main perspective overall is being a non-sinner and not allowing any kind of sin to be in your mind at all.
The shoe covers. So we actually have our shoe in here, and we got the bag over our shoe. Very good. So that we will not have to start that again. So we have the grocery bags as shoe covers. You can also use grocery bags as gloves if you do not have gloves. Grocery bags can be reused. And my angels and I definitely promote recycling and reusing.
A permanent foundation purpose is very important to remember. Our purpose is to make life a better place in all ways, all shapes, and all forms. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. To balance the imbalanced and to exceed past current intelligence. Humanity's main purpose as an entire species is farming, inventing, and being parents to the animals. And so knowing that we have a permanent foundation purpose in making life a better place in all ways, shapes, and forms, farming, inventing, being a parent to the animals, you cannot fail at that purpose because we have purpose in doing so. Have it in the foundation of your mind, your spirit, and your body that we do have a foundation.
Same angels and Iris, one human being. I know it is beyond the sight you are seeing. We're doing very good, my miracles, my wonderful angels. And remember to have healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, you know, the science and anatomy of all things. Also remember to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. Today we will be singing the Universe Anatomy song, part 1 and part 2. This is part 1. My angels and I created these songs so we all can sing along. We have the supernovas, we have the quasars, we have the nebulas, we have the waves and rays, we have the particles, we have the white holes, wormholes, black holes, space-time itself, we have the comets, meteorites, meteors, we have the asteroids, fireballs, we have the planets, floating planets, we have the sun that is 93 million miles away in approximation, we have the magnetic fields, the gravitational fields, we have the exoplanet Earth, we have the ozone layer, layers of the atmosphere, the troposphere to which we breathe. Help us to get a golden record, and remember to support the Cygnus Industries.
This is Professor Cygnus and angels. And my angels and I are as one human being. I know it is beyond the sight you are seeing. We're doing very good, my miracles, my wonderful angels. Very good. Today, my angels and I are reviewing the Zimtown portable sink. My angels and I want to say this is absolutely a wonderful masterpiece that they had created here. This is so professionally made. This looks like a real sink. My angels and I will say that, in our opinion, this is better than an actual sink. The plumbing issue, the issues with things getting stopped up in the drain.
Use the baby toothpaste for that. Elisha! You want your teeth brushed? Elisha, stop that nonsense. Ow! You had to spike it because she's being rebellious. You have to be strict. We just barely pat her. We brush her teeth twice. Elisha, you stop that before you get another whooping.
My angels and I created these songs so we all can sing along. Stay tuned. Universe Anatomy. We have the supernovas, we have the quasars, we have the nebulas, we have the waves and rays, we have the particles, we have the white holes, wormholes, black holes, space-time itself, we have the comets, meteorites, meteors, we have the asteroids, fireballs, we have the planets, floating planets, we have the sun that is 93 million miles away in approximation. We have the magnetic fields, the gravitational fields, we have the exoplanet Earth, we have the ozone layer, layers of the atmosphere, the troposphere to which we breathe, we have the crust of the Earth beneath our feet. Wow! We have the crust, the tectonic plates and the metal in the core of the earth. We have the land and the ocean creatures. We have the amphibians, and we have the government. We have the metaverse metadata organization. Then we have the plants. Excellent diligence. Very good. We have the farmers, the inventors, manufacturing machine labelers, packagers, and we have the cargo ships, cargo planes, cargo trains, cargo trucks, cargo cars, cargo subways, cargo drones, even. Then we have the stores. Then we have the associates. Very good. By KAYLAN, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. You can donate to the Cygnus Industries to see more of this. Very good. We have the pupil, the iris, the eye. We have the optic nerve, the optic chiasm. We have the olfactory nerve. Do not forget the oculomotor. We have the amygdala, the stria terminus, and we have the septal nuclei. Thank you, my miracles for how hard we try. We have the longitudinal stria. Then we have the hippocampus, then we have the fornix, then we have the thalamus, we have the corpus callosum, the subtopellucidum, then we have the cerebellum. Do not forget the pituitary gland because we do everything we can. Then we have the pons, the list goes on and on. We have the abductor nerve, the trigeminal nerve, the facial nerve, the vestibulocochlear nerve, the glosopharyngeal nerve, the vagus nerve, and the gastrointestinal. Then we have the hypoglossal and spinal nerve. Then we have the accessory nerve, moving the things like the shoulder. Stay strong, stand bolder. Then we have the brainstem, because these nerves, you know that we need them.
People of the world, with you all thinking that the greater potential is already there, that is the moment to where you're thinking incorrectly. You have not seen the things I have seen in life. I've seen some terrible things. I've seen some serious, major issues in the world. And especially like for the children, we pray for the children every day. We pray for the adults every day. We pray for everyone to have that proper guidance, and prevention is better than going through the situation, which is exactly why we teach you all to have healthy eating and to go by the routine lessons. So we're going to go ahead and sing the routine lessons. Very good. Because we needed to make an episode on the routine lessons in separate, so thinking that we might as well just go ahead and do that now. And we already did some nail clipping, nail sanding already, getting ready to do these things, but we'll wait until we're off broadcast, just so Alicia, the telephone, can save on battery. We said that we have like little solar panels. Choose not the bad decisions, choices, chances, or opportunities, for the result is only the corruption of the greater potential image. So choose not the bad, harmful decisions, choices, chances, or opportunities, for the result is only the corruption of the greater potential image. And you can only imagine what it would be like to reach to that greater potential. We are never at the point of our potential. That's what people mistake. People mistake that we are already to our greatest potential and that humanity cannot go any further. But that is when they have really seen that there was a major issue in society, thinking that we have it all. The answer is we're not even close. We are not even close to the greater potential image. I mean, we have people in the world living like they're way back in the 1970s or before that. And we'll give you an example, off the grid situation here.
I wanted to recommend the world to do refillable jugs, refillable things, and to give a jug, sell the jugs of refillables, and then get people to fill up their jugs with soap and weigh it by the pound, weigh it by the ounce of how many ounces of soap that you're getting, of how many pounds of soap that you're getting, or however you want the organization to be. Yet my angels and I are thinking these disposable items are not necessary to be disposable. You can do refillable things. Now my angels and I will sing the anatomy of the universe.
First, let's make sure that we tuck our shirt in. Well, that looks better already. Now let's make sure to tuck our socks over our pants. Very good. And now for the last part. Get a string, poke a hole to where that fits around your neck, and put the string through the hole that fits around the neck. And then tie that. Grab it, cross it, tuck it under, grab it, pull it. Wow, that looks so much more formal. Last but not least, let's make sure to wear a fanny pack everywhere we go. And this is the lesson of dressing more formal.
My angels and I made a joke. Are you ready to hear this? The word "it" is not in our vocabulary. Well, I am not Larry. Well, that was hilarious. That was funny. That was very good. Ask, is this a harmful decision? And then you have to ask, if this was a harmful decision, or if we are unsure if this is or not, you have to know the anatomy and study the anatomy before making the decision. Very good. Questioning shows good form of intelligence. Quack, quack, question to learn the lesson. Who, what, when, where, why, how, can, is. Who, what, when, where, why, how, can, is. Quack, quack, question to learn the lesson.
This is Kaylan, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. We pray that everyone has healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, and knowing the science and anatomy of all things. Also remember to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. The concern of this climate change time is if there's going to be any power outages. Now, the news had said that this heat may cause strainage on the power line since everyone is using an air conditioner, most of everyone. So the best thing to do is get an inverter, and we want you all to look into getting an inverter. There's different wattages of an inverter. You want about 1,000 watts or so. This is a 29 DC Everstart Marine battery, and that will last a very long time. So we pray that everyone prepares for if there is a power outage. Get a 29 DC Marine battery as well as an inverter, and you could be powering things without the need for electricity.
This is Kaylan, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. And my angels and I are as one human being. I know it is beyond the sight you are seeing. We're doing very good, my miracles, my wonderful angels. We will be singing our prayer song we created. My angels and I pray for the balance of existence and the purification of all things. My angels and I pray that all of the good things of life will be safe. My angels and I pray that we can enhance DNA. My angels and I pray that we can end climate change. My angels and I pray that all of the sicknesses will go away. The moment that you think that you are finished in life is the moment that you would fail. We can always make progression in life. Know that we have purpose in the balance and purification of existence. And we are not to stop until we reach the point. And the fact is, we will never reach that point. We can never finish. So continue to make progression. This is Kaylan, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels.
Not perceive the perspective. People do not perceive the anatomy of what happens during situations of struggle. In the sense of lung problems. Every cell, what happens to every cell? Every cell ends up having major issues. Or just simply smelling bad molecules. What happens to your body when you smell a bad molecule? What happens is your sinus gland can get inflamed. Your eyeballs could then poke out of socket. The pressure in your brain could end up getting very pressurized. So there's a lot of things that can happen in struggle situations. That's just a situation of regularly smelling a molecule in the air. And how dangerous it is just to have a bad molecule in the air. And that is why my angels and I have Glade spray. Very good. I just want to say these manufacturer machine packagers and labelers really do paint this image. Do you understand? They paint this entire image. And they are wasting their talent. Why are they wasting their talent? Is because these things are thrown away. And that's a difficult thing. You know, this is like something that would go on display. Like, oh my goodness, one of the most accurate, beautiful paintings you've ever seen. I would say the best artist is the manufacturer machine labelers and packagers. Because their equipment, their AI equipment that have detailed, precise measurements. And honestly, my angels and I really do acknowledge them and how beautiful these items are, yet my angels and I are very upset because we have to throw these items away, and that does not really make us feel comfortable. My angels and I want to have... This is Kaylan, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. And remember to have healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, and know the science and anatomy of all things. Also remember to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. Here we are going to be speaking about forgiveness, and how forgiveness is not just given, it is something that you have to earn. A lot of people mistaken that forgiveness is already given and they have nothing that they have to prove. They'll measure not a creature by their size nor shape, but yet by their worthiness. As for forgiveness, it comes in steps of a process. Taking the steps of forgiveness is the true way of getting forgiveness.
This broom was
Hello, this is Professor Cygnus and Angels, my mastery angels I am so proud of. Today, we are teaching to always wear chapstick and have hygiene in the fanny pack and do hygiene everywhere you go. The next lesson is to be a vegan on a gluten-free diet and have natural antibiotics, natural antifungals. My angels and I are very thankful for these wonderful inventions and wonderful things in life. And this is naturally antibiotic, JIT. So what we're going to do is, we had grabbed the tea and then we had ripped the top. Next, we are going to pour it into our blended pinto beans. Did you know that 8 pounds of pinto beans is only $6? Wow! That's amazing. And now we're going to pour that into our blended pinto beans. Very good. This is Professor Cygnus and Angels. Can you all complete the Memorial Day Challenge of the month? 2 challenges. Shave your hair, as well as being a vegan on a gluten-free diet. Hair is proven to be 200 times more toxic than urine. Can you complete the challenge?
I want you to take a look at this with me and just tell me what you think. Take a look. You see that outside at the end of the parking lot near the groove where the grass meets the concrete? Look at that trash. See that? Let's zoom in. Look at that. They're like the scarecrow off of The Wizard of Oz saying, if I only had a brain. What in the world are they thinking? Litter is obviously not good. What are they, living half zombie or something? Are they not thinking at all? Come on, think. Littering is not good. You do not litter. Pick up your own mess and stop making a mess. Nobody's going to pick it up for you.
When your body has untreated medical physical problems, stress chemicals can be created by your brain, yet the source is not always from your brain and can be caused by some other medical condition. Thus, when you have negative emotions, you should always do your hygienics. Brush your teeth, gums, and tongue 3 more times a day. Wash your hands and nails. Have eye drops and chapstick in your fanny pack at all times. Scrub your body from top to bottom with a washcloth or scrubber. Wear shower shoes to prevent foot fungus. Clip and sand your nails. And take care of yourself. And neurological science is the source of emotions. And in order to have self-control, you need to understand neurological science on what the source of the problem really is.
This is Cygnus. Today we are painting the pieces of a birdhouse. Just about done. We decided to paint in stripes because we have earned our stripes to prove ourselves worthy and honorable to our life. Life is like a canvas, and we are the painters of this canvas of life. It is important to make a divine art with great purpose and reason, just like the purpose of a birdhouse, to support the animals during these cold winter times.
Hi, this is Professor Cygnus, wanting you to do better with your life. If you would like to learn wonderful lessons, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember to bring in the good things of life and remove the bad things of life. Invest wisely.
This is KAYLEM, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels, and we will be singing our universe anatomy song. We have the supernovas, we have the quasars, we have the nebulas, we have the waves and rays, we have the particles, we have the white holes, wormholes, black holes, space-time itself, we have the comets, meteorites, meteors, we have the asteroids, fireballs, we have the planets, floating planets, we have the sun that's 93 million miles away in approximation, We have the magnetic fields, the gravitational fields. We have the exoplanet Earth. We have the ozone layer, layers of the atmosphere, the troposphere to which we breathe. We have the crust of the Earth beneath our feet. We have the crust, the titanic plates, and the mantle and the core of the Earth. We have the land and the ocean creatures. We have the amphibians, and we have the government. Then we have the metaverse metadata organization. Then we have the plants, excellent diligence, very good. We have the farmers, the inventors, manufacturing machine labelers, packagers. Then we have the cargo ships, cargo planes, cargo trains, cargo trucks, cargo cars, cargo subways, cargo drones even. Then we have the source and we have the associates. Very good. And the sports and careers of unitingness. Very
The farmers, the inventors, manufacturer machine labelers, packagers. Then we have the cargo ships, cargo planes, cargo trains, cargo trucks, cargo cars, cargo subways, cargo drones even. Optic nerve, optic chiasm. We have the olfactory nerve. Do not forget the oculomotor. We have the amygdala, the stria terminals. Then we have the septal. A wise investment in life is to do training. So treats, you would think that treats are the essential part of training, but really the essential part of training is your bond with your little one. That's really what allows training to really happen. So if you want to train, make sure to have a good bond, have good nourishment, make sure to nourish and bond with them. Very good. And also have strictness, but also have loving care and nourishment. Wanting to show how bravery has learned. Come here. Sit down. Shake hands. Good girl. To shake hands. Now spin around. Good girl. To spin around. Sit down. Good girl. Shake hands. Very good. To shake hands. Wanting to teach bravery new tricks. What we do is we put our chest below her head. We open her mouth and brush the roof of her mouth sideways. We'll brush her tongue. Very good. This prevents cavities and gum disease. They do have toothpaste made specifically for dogs. Yet this is specifically for babies, like infants. So I would rather prefer this because I can even have this and swallow and this would taste really good. The other toothpaste for dogs does not taste good at all whatsoever. So I think you should want them to enjoy getting their teeth brushed and have them with a toothpaste that actually tastes really good.
All clean. Yay!
Good job. You're doing very good.
Aaliyah Marie Shalesh, aka SS Sniper Wolf, has amassed more than 20 million subscribers and 13 billion views from her gaming and reaction style videos. One of the wealthiest and most successful female YouTubers around, she's worth an estimated $60 million and counting. Most people love video games, but it takes a special kind of hustle to make a career similar to the one Dan TDM's built. At over 18 billion views, his gaming content's amassed him an unimaginable fortune of $75 million. Swedish-born Felix Kjellberg, known better as PewDiePie, needs no introduction. The long-reigning largest creator on the platform and only one of above 110 million subscribers, Felix can thank his fans, the 19-year-olds, for his $135 million net worth. Creating an empire that started on MySpace but later transitioned to YouTube, cosmetics mogul Jeffree Star commands a personal fortune of over $200 million.
Say that you had this stone and you took it to the government and said, this is a rare stone. I want to sell this stone to you. So, if, first of all, they would put it under a microscope and test it for zinc, iron, and other minerals. You take this to them. If it does not have what they're looking for, they're not going to get it. So for this says believe on there. So say that they took this to the government. They would test it, continue to test it for zinc, iron, other things that this has in there. They pay over $1 million for some stones. And if you are to say that there is no difference in value of people, then you're wrong. Because certain things need to be for the value to be met. Just like these stones. People have.
This is KAYLAN, better known as Professor Cygnus and Angels. And my angels and I are as one human being. I know it is beyond the sight you are seeing. We're doing very good, my miracles, my wonderful angels. And remember to have healthy eating, appropriate speech, appropriate behavior, appropriate clothing, appropriate spacing, and know the science and anatomy of all things. Also remember to have the goals of the body, the household, and the outside responsibilities. Life is like a path of many routes, many choices, many chances, and many opportunities. It is important to never choose anything harmful in any way, shape, or form. I am a wonderful example and a good influence on how, regardless of trauma, regardless of injuries, we can all live as non-sinners and aim towards our purpose of the greater potential image. Stay healthy and invest wisely. Go on the righteous path of life by choosing to live as a non-sinner. Stay healthy.